All right, this video is to walk you through on how to change the prop shaft seal on a Volvo Penta SX-A drive system. So I had oil leaking out from under here constantly for a while. So took it apart, found out the seal was bad. You could see a little nick in it. So just walk through the whole process on how I took it apart and put it back together. So in the Volvo Penta stern drive 2003-7 repair manual, in chapter 10, page 37, it gives you the instructions how to go ahead and replace all the items for the prop shaft seal. One point of thing to note is this screw right here, this bolt, was difficult to understand what was the actual correct replacement. I'll go ahead and talk about that at the end of the video. But the main thing is that we got to change the O-rings, which are right here, and then we keep the seals. And then the part that we're really interested in changing here is the seal for the prop shaft. So what you want to do first is go ahead and drain the oil. There's a plug right here for the drain plug. So I punched out the rear seal, prop shaft seal, with a screwdriver and a hammer. You can see in the 4 different locations there. Popped out all right. Just be careful, there is a race underneath on the inside. Here's the new one going in. And I'll be using a piece of PVC, schedule 40. I believe this is 1.25 inches. And the diameter, I have it filed down on the inside so we can get a better seating on it. So it's a little bit smaller than the OD of the seal, but you can see there's a chamfer on that part. So it doesn't have to be a complete OD match. So see how it goes. All right, so that went in pretty well. Took about 5 little taps and about 10 bigger ones, and then you could just feel it slide right on in place. I did have it supported from the backside, just so that we're hitting on this piece that looks to be pressed in versus on the outer seal. And you can see everything is lined up nicely between these, between the frame and the seal. Time to install it. So the manual states that the 2 O-rings that sit here on the bearing housing need to get replaced. They're about $10 each from Leaders. There's the part number on them. All right, so the O-rings slid on pretty well. Just sprayed on some heavy-duty silicone, or you can use some silicone grease if you've got some to throw on there. Make sure that they don't get pinched. So Volvo Penta replaced the standard bolt configuration here. It's no longer available through them. What they sell instead is a hex socket with a stainless steel washer. The stainless steel washer measures 16mm OD, 9mm ID, and 3mm thick. The part number for the 2 items are right here. The new bolt is actually the same length as the new bolt, so this guy could be maybe a little bit thinner, or likewise the ID could be a little bit smaller, because it does rattle around on the new bolt. So you can find something cheaper. Otherwise they're about $30 for the 4 items. All right, so I slid the prop shaft back in, made sure that the housing's all cleaned up, have the new O-rings installed, and manual says to go ahead and reuse the existing shims that were taken off. So just pop those back on in, and then assemble it with the old bolts, and we'll walk through that step next. So the instructions talk about re-shimming, but it's not really required since we're just reusing the existing shims. So what needs to happen is you need to go ahead and use the new bolts, torque them to 10 foot-pounds, and then apply additional 70-degree rotation. All right, so I slid the assembly in. It went in, just had to finagle a little bit and went in with my hands. Then I installed the old bolts just to get everything seated, top and bottom, uninstalled, and then put the new hardware in and torqued them up to 10 pounds. And the next step is to torque them 70 degrees.